Good evening, everybody. Good evening. We are once again competing with, apparently there's a couple of football matches this week. So we're back in the prime time slot. But of course, whether you're watching the Champions League along with us here or you're watching on catch up, you're very welcome. And already, Steve-O, John Carl, and Ruben, welcome guys. Welcome everyone to Phil's Corner Live, our usual Tuesday evening stream, where we go looking on eBay for football shirts. And yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a good start to the week. We'll wait a couple of minutes and I'll give you an update on the Italy shirt, which we bought last week, but unfortunately it is bad news, and I'll tell you why. You can probably guess why. Andy, good evening. Hey all, good to see you. Previously on these streams I have tried to watch the Champions League, but I found myself basically just being too distracted. So I'm not going to be keeping up to date, but of course I'd love to hear if anyone does score in the first half and things like that. We might try and finish a bit earlier so I can catch the game. But guys, Christopher, good to see you. Good to see you all. It's really good to just hang out in this way. I really enjoy it. And incidentally, I thought, well, you can see the box behind me, the big Portland Timbers box. That is a recent purchase on eBay since the last stream. I'm really excited to show you guys. It's a limited edition shirt from, I think it was 2012. So I found one on eBay with, you know, all the trimmings, all the stuff in the box. So that's going to be a future video probably. And with the big news today of Portland Timbers away show, which I'm sure you guys have seen. Yeah, that's, I mean, until we get Phil's corner back, we've not got a proper backdrop, but there we go. That is the Portland Timbers shirt to come. Before we get to eBay, a bit of housekeeping, of course, I say every time, but please subscribe if you are new. And actually, I noticed Ashley Billingham. I don't know how when you've subscribed, but welcome nonetheless, Ashley. I see you're the latest name on the list. Thanks for joining the channel. And anyone else, please subscribe. Ravi, good to see you, mate. Yeah, so you know when I go live. And you can also support me on Patreon. There's details in the description. But guys, quick update. This was what I thought was going to be an amazing purchase. And the funny thing is, so this is obviously the Italy shirt. It's supposed to be the Italy shirt in an authentic version with a name set. And I must say, when I got it out of the package, I was pretty impressed. It looks good. The crest looks almost spot on, as does the Puma logo. But it's a fake. And I must say, guys, this must be the best looking fake I've ever seen. I mean, certainly from, you know, when I started collecting 5-6 years ago, fakes were good, but they were a lot easier to spot. But this one is as I say, really good. But I checked the inside labels. It did bring up a Marseille shirt. And indeed, these swing tags aren't the correct ones, as you should get on the shirt. But yeah, so it was a bit of a shame. I did file a request on eBay, and the seller immediately responded and said I could send it back for a full refund. So that's good. And as I say, in all honesty, looking at it, I wouldn't have known it was a fake from, you know, just seeing it out the pack. But there we go. So we missed out on that one, which, you know, you win some, you lose some. Given the price, I was happy to take the punt. It was too good to be true. So, you know, we don't always win here. First corner, sometimes it's harder going. But anyway, enough of that. Let's try and find some bargains. Let us get to eBay. And hope you've had some real shirts, unlike the Italy shirt. Chris says, I kept a fake and the full refund from eBay. Did not trust the seller to not try and fish someone else. That is, yeah, that's that's one way to do it. Yeah, for sure. Actually, as you start, guys, I think many of you would have seen this on Twitter. I can't remember the name of the person who was selling this, but they were selling this incredible Liverpool jumper, which looks like a concept, but it was actually sold. It's quite rare. As you can see, I'm watching this. This could go for a lot of money, we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. The kind of stuff that doesn't just pop up any day. Right. Anyone who's new, the way we do things here is very simple. I like to go football shirts, very broad term, auctions, ending soonest. This is the way I like to do things. It kind of gets a bit of everything. You do have a lot of fakes and a lot of rubbish. But, you know, ever so often you get some really interesting stuff. And right off the bat, I really like that Lazio shirt. Classic Seaman sponsor. It's a pretty garish colour combo, but I mean, that's a great price. And in typical fashion, we've only got 2 minutes. So let's have a quick look. Let's just try and find this shirt. I'm literally just quickly trying to find this on for sale. So let's try a few classic sites like classic football shirts just to gauge kind of, you know, availability. What year was this? 2001. Now, I wouldn't want to pay much more because it's in size small. So even though it is a very good price, I mean, maybe it is rarer than I think. I would say probably the value of this is, you know, if it's in good condition. There's some wear to the jot tag, but the sponsor's in reasonable nick. You know, I'd expect to pay closer to £50 for this, if not more. Certainly from a seller like this. You can see an XXL here. The home is £50 on classic. If we try vintage football shirts, just quickly, another big seller who have a lot of stock. You can see, yeah, so the home again is kind of £90. I mean, they're like classic football shirts, vintage football shirts, in the fact that their prices are a bit higher. So you can see here, to be honest, it's a good price here. I'm not going into the auction simply because, as I say, being a size small limits the value for me. I wouldn't want to go. I mean, £20 I probably want to go in for. It's still a good deal though. It's still a good deal. Let's just watch and see what it goes for. Like I said, that PSG track jacket is insane. Champions League, that's popping. Oh man, PSG are so good at what they do, aren't they? They really are. And like I've also said, I was hunting for a few black and gold shirts. Could you recommend a few? Oh, good question. I mean, some that jumped to mind. I don't know. Monaco had a great away shirt a couple of years ago. I really like the LAFC shirt, the home shirt from, was it last year or 2 years ago again. There's some that jump to mind. And in fact, John Carr's I've just seen your message there, mate, and I agree. LAFC. So there we go. It must be if we both said it. Charlton, another good shout from Christopher actually, and they had a great shirt. So £30. Good deal there for whoever won that auction. Yeah, below market value, I would say, and I think that's a really interesting colour combo. It might be garish to some, but I think, yeah, that just shows you, that's just a straight up eBay there, just showing what it's all about. Great deal on that shirt. Yeah, impressive. There's that Hamburg shirt, which has been on for a few weeks now. It's interesting, a kind of generic Adidas Coupe de France shirt. Very unusual item. At £5, that's very cheap, although £10 postage. Okay, what else have we got? Lots of Peterborough shirts. I'm not too fussed about those, but reasonable prices. Another shirt which you've seen before on this show. A great Kaiser shirt, but the price is too high there. They do have a best offer, and considering this has been on now for a couple of weeks, it's certainly the kind of thing where you could sneak in with an offer. I think that would, I wouldn't feel bad about lowballing him, given that it's been on for a couple of weeks. If we look at the shirt more closely, it is quite good. Yeah, I'm going to watch out, and if it gets listed again, that could be something we could put in a bid for. interesting to see. I always look at, if auctions have had a few bids, it always piques my interest. If nothing else, just to kind of see what's going on. I do not remember that QPR shirt. And what do we do when we don't know what year shirt is? We go to old football shirts. Great resource. You can see very quickly it was the the 96. So I don't know if that was an own brand shirt or if that was just a small brand view from. Almost looks like a sponsor, doesn't it, rather than a manufacturer's mark. So pretty funny shirt there, really. All the 90s charm. Yeah, no, view from, there you go. I don't remember ever seeing that shirt before. Yeah, Vabe saying about the Ericsson sponsor. It's a good sponsor. One of those kind of well-known companies or relatively prominent companies, which I like to see on sponsors. Okay. Let's see what that goes for the auction out of interest. And we continue. Lots of the usual sort of stuff. This is the downside to doing it this way. You kind of get a lot of stuff which you've seen 10 times before, but stuff slips through the cracks. That's why I do like the approach. And hey, we're not in a rush. We got an hour to play with here. Yeah. Another shirt we've seen a few weeks. I must say, it is yeah. Having done this for several weeks now, man, the amount of stuff which just gets relisted and sees no bids, and it just obviously happens all the time. Yeah. Smudge Sports, how late, mate? Oh, you're not late at all, mate. We're warming up as we do. And John Carlson had to run up to the mailbox again this week. 50-40 Leicester City Vardy shirt. I mean, John Carl, you're on a roll, mate. Looking forward to hearing about that one. And great coming in from Lana Del K. View from used to sponsor GB Athletics. I did not know that. Good knowledge. Just great this City shirt, which was quite an interesting one from Nike. Kind of suffered from that drop V, which all the shirts had, or most of the Nike shirts had at the time. But it's quite a smart design. It certainly had that lovely reference to the 90s. 3XL, so it's too big a size, but a reasonable price there. And when I say too big a size, I mean for the ones I usually collect. Right, I skipped over this one. Charlotte Eagles. Okay, I'm guessing they're. Oh gosh, that is that is a hilarious bit of embroidery. Look at. Okay, that is so funny. I challenge anyone to read that. Read that line. Oh dear, that is funny. Oh, thanks for the subscription as well, Lana Del K. Welcome to the channel. But yeah, that is funny. Look at that. I'm guessing it says United. I'm going to give up after that. Talking America, of course, and Smudge has mentioned MLS kits. Yes, MLS kits. I mean, I might this week. I was thinking for the Hot Wall stream on Thursday, I might just do some of the new kits. We'll see. But yeah, it could be good to talk about those. I've just noticed the Chick-fil-A sponsor as well. This has quite a lot going for it. I wouldn't buy it because, I mean, let's have a quick look, see if they are actually an interesting team. United States Independent Soccer Leagues. Spot on there. Great shout, Andy. Charlotte Eagles. They play in the. Oh, that's funny. They actually play in the United Soccer League. or USL League 2, the same league as, I'm just going to check before I say it. In fact, oh well, there's quite a few in the different conferences. If we look here, I'm trying to think if there's any teams I recognise. I assumed I would, or maybe I'm thinking of another league. Yeah, okay. So, lower league American team. Doesn't have any of the bigger names of the lower league. But regardless, that's kind of funny. Certainly the kind of shirt where if you're into collecting obscure teams, it's a shame about the name there. But that is quite an interesting piece. I do find that embroidery quite funny. Very interesting item. And yeah, Andy said about MLS, we need to add some to the collection. Undoubtedly, there's a few which do deserve a second look, and I think the only kind of frustration really is that you kind of have to go authentic to get the best version of the shirts, and things like the collars differ drastically on the replicas, which is a real shame because they're a lot of money. But if you can get a good deal, or if you're willing to save, or maybe sell a few shirts to justify getting authentic, definitely worth exploring. And the timber shirt, which Smudge you mentioned, some amazing details on that one. This Fluminense shirt, I don't remember this one from 2015. That central detail is quite interesting, isn't it? It's yeah. Honestly, that's probably worth a bit of that price. Let me just have a look at let's look at our full shirts to make sure we are looking at the shirt, not a training shirt or anything like that. So 2015. Yeah, it's listed as the away on here, which I generally take as a good sign. I think given that it's a good size, grubby marks on the rear seems okay. Okay, some fair marks. That probably would stop you from bidding, but that's not to say it's not a good deal. Another reasonable deal there, a bit like the Lazio shirt. Certainly at that price, and if you can live with the marks, if you're going to kind of wear it to the side, that's not a big problem, is it? Yeah, let's watch it again. Nice, very nice. And he's saying, Lower League USA teams have some fantastic designs. Minneapolis City, great shout. They do have some good kits. And I get a really interesting question. Has there ever been a shirt you absolutely adored, but the material was awful? The early 2000s have a few. Yeah, I mean, certainly like some of the Puma shirts from the noughties, which have some great designs, but they are quite funny to wear. They're not very kind of flexible. So that is a good shout. I'm trying to think of others which I've really liked but have had bad material. I mean, obviously a lot of people are talking at the moment in the community about current season replicas being pretty naff. And it is hard to, when you see how good some of the player issue shirts are, yeah, it is a big difference. Abertino, name we've not seen around here for a while. Good to see you, mate. It has been a long time. It has, but it's good to see you. Yeah, hope you're well, mate. Look at these shorts. I mean, you guys know I love Hummel, and wow, some vintage Tottenham shorts. Would be tempted to put in a bid at a lower price if it wasn't Spurs, although even then, that's a great pair of shorts. If I want to live the short stream, I could do so with those. And you say, didn't Man United have a kind of woolly material on an away shirt in 2000? Huh. I'm trying to think, Andy. Though nothing springs to mind, that would not surprise me. I'm sure someone will know in chat. Now this, I'm pretty sure isn't the authentic shirt, right? That doesn't look right. I mean, certainly the price doesn't make sense either if it was real. If we have a look here, I would say since shorts are so underrated. And yeah, I mean, you know, in a year when everyone's been talking about PSG shorts, yeah, there's a lot of kind of more focus on shorts at the moment. Yeah, certainly looking at that, I mean, that could be, yeah, it doesn't look real, at least from the outset. Okay, so that's page 1. That's 200 shirts. Let's keep going. Looking potentially a bit quieter. Interesting. I'm surprised that a remake of this shirt has had so many bids. Maybe people don't know it's a remake. I mean, it's quite clearly is, and the seller's listed it as retro, which, you know, in fairness, is kind of a term you'd often use. But yeah, that surprises me, because it's not a shirt I'd imagine would have been highly sought after. I mean, it doesn't even have a manufacturer's mark. It's very clearly from the club store. But it's had 10 bids. I mean, you know, I guess out of interest, I'm going to go actually on the Liverpool store now. And we'll see if that shirt is available. I'm sure they would have some. Now, retro jerseys. That sounds about right. And there we go. I mean, I guess it's 40 quid on here, so you are potentially saving some money. So there is that, in fairness, and it has the tags on. But yeah, so for anyone that you know, I've always been I do think retro shirts have their place in the industry. I've talked a lot about it. It comes up a lot as a discussion point. But their resale value is very low in my mind. Yeah, but anyway, that's a tangent. But interesting to see that sort of thing, and you do see that some retro shirts. Again, I mean, to be fair, if you're going to buy it anyway and you find it on here for that price, you've just saved money on the same item. So there is that. And a training item as well. Another interesting thing to see on eBay. My internet is slow or something's up there. Let's try again. Still struggling. There we go. Now this is a lovely training top. I believe this was the one released in January, just last month, so quite new. Yeah. And Thomas, sorry to hear not having a good week, mate, but I hope you can have a bit of rest in the next hour. And yeah, I hope things pick up, mate. Good to see you here. It's always good to have you, mate. And yeah, come along, put your feet up, enjoy this ramble through eBay as we try and find a good deal. For those that are joining late as well, unfortunately, the Italy shirt, which looked very good for a fake, but it was a fake, so I'm having to return that. But you know, of all things considered, yeah, got the refund straight away, so no real problems there. It was a very good looking fake, but it was close. And some discussion on reversible shirts. Mag mentioning, I believe, talking about the United shirt there. Said I've never come across a reversible shirt that wasn't suffocating my nostrils. That's quite funny. Chris was saying I want to get a St. Pauli Centurion reversible shirt. I have another from Grays Lake Football Club. But boy, is it heavy. Yeah, reversible shirt's an interesting one. It seems like the kind of thing that more clubs would potentially do. Of course, Forward Madison did it on a really nice shirt. Thomas, that was the Liverpool club shop, and I was just investigating more than anything else the availability of, if you have a quick scroll back, this shirt, which was getting a bit of action, and I wanted to see you know, what the price was, the going rate was, and it was 40 quid for a shirt there that's getting some bids at the mid-20s. Of course, this is not something I'm going to be bidding on. Hilarious listing price. I mean, I know these Adidas tops are sought after, and it is fantastic, but it's not worth that. Although, to be fair, if it was on classic football shirts, it'd probably be on for that. But it's still good to enjoy that. I'm still enjoying these pictures. Hey, that's one of the things, window shopping. I spend most of my time, and this is, you know, a lot of Tuesday evenings just browsing without actually bidding. But yeah. Now, supposedly a match worn shirt, but without any kind of authenticity, or kind of certificate. It could be anything. There's nothing. I mean, you know, the still has good ratings. It's quite possible it is match worn, but it's unlikely that they'll be getting any bids, I would have thought. Just because there is kind of not even an attempt to kind of verify that. So yeah, one thing I used to kind of, you know, fall head over heels in the early days of my collecting life and get excited when people said match worn, but then I realised, well, actually, if you can't prove it's match worn, then it isn't going to be any more valuable most of the time. Sometimes, of course, you know, you might be able to identify specific details, but even then you can add match details afterwards. So it's a tricky area to go in, and not one which I would dabble in lightly. And yeah, Thomas, that was, yeah, the Liverpool site was just reissues and that sort of stuff. I really like this this shirt, and if I'm right in saying this has a number on the back, I don't know. Okay, no, this wasn't. Hummel did some. I think they're called Share Legends shirts, which are really, really nice. I don't know if this is one of them. Let's have a look. Many of you will remember this. Christian with the update, the score update. 2-0 City. That's pretty good. I mean, they're obviously favourites. Interesting. This is the Share Legend shirt. That's cool. Now, the funny thing is, these shirts are really interesting. I believe they were all worn in a game, so they weren't just like a leisure wear piece. And actually, if we go to the blog from the time for Shirt Culture, you can see we've got pictures here. This one is commemorating something with the club. Madrid. Not much information on this blog. But anyway, nonetheless, an interesting shirt. Now, the price, the size isn't great, being triple XL. But if it's European sizing, which it will be, you know, that's more like an XXL. And to be honest, at that price, now it has got £10 delivery, but I think this is probably one we'd put in a bid for, at least at this price. Of all the Hummel Legends shirts, and if I just do a quick Google image search, you guys can see this, you know, the Bromley one was incredible, and some of the other ones were a bit better. But this one is still, you know, still one I'd be interested to collect, basically. That's a long way of saying that. Now let's just double check the name set is actually the one that came with the shirt. I can't remember. Well, let's have a look. Incidentally, now I've seen that Bombay shirt, I want to do a quick search on eBay and actually see if they've got, or search for Hummel Share Legends. Absolutely nothing there, which is fine. Occasionally, I do like to just do a quick search of a team. I don't know if they're going to want the correct. Let's just try it with the actual full team name, with the correct spelling. out of interest, you can see, yeah, there's very little in the way of Bromby shirts, but that's fine. Thomas mentioned about the game tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be intense. It's going to be. I mean, I'm confident. I'm confident, but not in a kind of like, we've got to respect our opponents. But I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about the team at the moment, broadly speaking. Yeah, quickly back to this shirt. I just want to see if that was the correct, or one of the team names and in the correct font and things like that. Now the name, who is it? Gianna. Make sure he did actually play for the club and things like that. Where did I go for that again? I thought I could see the guy's career history. But this is not the player I'm looking for. Again, I'm wanting to make sure that this is not just a personalised name set, proving more difficult than anticipated. If we just find, let's go to footy headlines. Again, apologies, this is probably not the most riveting segment. So looking here, more work needs to be done to verify, and I will do some research off stream to see if this was a player, either from the current squad or maybe from the time this shirt is referencing. But if it isn't, of course, that kind of rules the shirt out. But if it is one, then it's one of interest. So let's park that one. I'll watch that. Yeah, it's cool. I'm really keen to get at least some of the Hummel Legends shirts. I think they are really cool. Some woman knows that's one of the weaker ones, but it still has something about it. Smudge, any of you see the new Northampton shirt? And yes, in short, and it's great. I don't love the colour combo, but of course it is referencing an old shirt, which is great to see. And yeah, it looks like it's gone down well as well with a number of people. So yeah, pretty cool. Instantly, I'm just looking at the seller of that shirt. See what we've got here. There's an Aalborg shirt as well, which is quite smart. And a bit of a naff number set there, but another reasonable little auction there. Yeah, Thomas mentioned being confident with our fully fit squad, but Inter's definitely a challenge. Exactly, Inter are a big challenge. But, I mean, they're not quite as scary as, well, they are going to be difficult. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a bit too blasé about it. Okay. I'd say it's been a relatively quiet night by our usual standards. But it only takes one auction. And we're not going to lose hope. We're going to keep going until the final whistle. For anyone who's joining late, Carl, yeah, we've been, well, in fact, let's do a quick catch up. If we look here, some of the items, this one is one which I'm looking at a second time, Carl, which is from Hummel's Share Legends series, which they did a few years ago for various teams. I was trying to verify the name set though. I wasn't sure if that was an official one or a personalised one. So despite the size, that is one I may pick up. So an interesting shirt there. Look at that, Andy. Andy doing a sterling job there. Andreas Jakobsen was known as Bo Janne Jakobsen, and think he had Janne on his shirt. For what it's worth, Annie, this isn't Bromby, this is Odense or Odense. But that is a good train of in fact, we can look ourselves now. Andreas, what have we got? Jakobsen. Ah, interesting. So he didn't play for Odense. So maybe it's not. Maybe. Nonetheless, great research there. Maybe for Southampton too. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Oh dear. But anyway, yeah. One, two. Easily done, Andy. Easily done. No shame at all, mate. And Brock, good to see you. No worries that you're late at all, mate. No problem. It's just great to see you. Nonetheless. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Has there been any update? I've not seen anything from the PSG game, or at least you guys haven't mentioned it. I'm trusting you. I'm not on Twitter. But yeah, we'll probably wrap up before 9, I think, tonight, so I can catch the second half of the other games. But I figured let's keep to the schedule, even though even though it is prime time. And yeah, Carl, wish you black and yellow. Same here, mate. Especially that you've got a very luminous look as well. If we just go back to that shirt, it's like Dortmund, isn't it? 90s Dortmund. Looking at this Japan shirt, I do have a fondness for Japan shirts. The state of the print isn't ideal. It's obviously been through the wash a few times, but it is a very decent price. I mean, reflects the condition, I guess. But yeah, if that's one you wanted to fill out in your collection, it would be worth googling that code just to make sure it matches up. But that is not a bad price, despite the condition of the print. And just catched up with some messages here as well. Yeah, Thomas saying San Siro will be pumping now that Inter are back in the knockouts. It will be. It should be a huge game. Should be really, really good. 3-0 City. Yeah, that sounds about right. Fair play, getting the job done. Brock mentioning MLS. Yeah, I mean, I'm considering, Brock, maybe the Thursday stream, the Hotball stream. And if you guys haven't seen my video, go and check out my recent video where I look at, basically start my new series ranking new shirts from this year. Started from the start of 2022, and we'll be working our way through to the current day so we can catch up. I may do an MLS special either this week or next week. Maybe next week when we kind of confirm all the kits, or I might wait and kind of catch up. We will see. But yeah, lots to talk about there. Guys, you might have seen I've been hovering over this Marseille shirt. Now this one is one which is very interesting. It has a lot of details which stand out. Of course, that crest, and look at that jock tag as well. Lucho Gonzalez, he was a bit of a cult player. I used to love him on FIFA. For some reason, I was really big with Porto. I really used to love playing as Porto, and on FIFA. And when he was there, and what years was he there? It was in the noughties anyway. Yeah, so he was there from 2005 to 2009, and then he came back after Marseille. Yeah, and I mean, there's that shirt. There you go, on his Wikipedia page. So this is a really good Marseille shirt. If we just quickly look at, just again, I do like to just go to our football shirts, just make sure we're looking at, what year we're looking at, and then it'll be a case of doing a bit of research. This is at that price, and we can even make an offer. We could be looking at a bargain here. Marseille shirts do pop up quite a lot. They're obviously a popular team with some popular shirts, but some of them particularly stand out, and this one I think is one of the highlights. When you look at that crest, which is stunning, an embroidered crest, bit of damage on the printing, kind of consistent with age. It's not enough to put me off the shirt. Anyway, let's have a look. So this is the, let's say, Marseille 2009. Let's have a quick look on here. Yep, listing's fine. Let's have a quick look at the seller. See what other shirts they've got. And this is just to kind of get a feel. You know, if you've got a fake seller, you can often tell because they'll have multiple shirts, kind of new shirts, maybe brand new and stuff like that for low prices. But this is promising. Just looking at some of the other listings, there's nothing too scary. Some more Marseille shirts. Now I think at that price, it's not kind of the best deal you'll ever find. But again, we could make an offer. You never know. This seller might be willing to go a bit lower. If we now look at some places, again, I do this usually, but I like to look at sellers like classic football shirts, vintage football shirts, some of the bigger sellers, just to get an idea for what they have. Because again, if you see the shirt and you see it's readily available, it of course does impact price. So let's do a bit of research. We've got 2009. So if we just go Marseille and we'll scroll down to the late noughties. Again, this isn't particularly scientific. Bingo. So you can see here we've got an XL on classic shirts for £70. Now, of course, classic charge a premium. This is an XL, which usually I would say M and L are the most expensive sizes. But yeah, that's interesting to see. I think, you know, most sites, of course, would be closer to 50. If we check out vintage football shirts, they're a bit like classic. Actually, they do charge a bit more. They don't have this particular shirt. But yeah, you can see that. So the market value for a medium with printing, and the print is a bit damaged, but it would be, you know, over £50, most certainly. So, I mean, let's just test this, guys. Patience, we're going with a bid of kind of £19. So that's the wrong area. We are going to make an offer. Now, a lot of people frown on making a bid below the listing price. As it's not had a bid, I don't mind doing that. They have declined, which is completely fair. They may have it set to be minimum bids, minimum offers of £28, which is completely understandable. But nonetheless, that's one to keep an eye on. Now, at that price, I'd say that was a good deal. And of course, with the printing, it is a bit damaged, but it is a nice shirt. And at that price, I think we might go for it. Of course, it could climb higher. But yeah, that's so added to the watch list. It ends at 1:30 in the morning, which is quite funny. So you might have to just wait till tomorrow morning. But yeah, there you go. Thomas St. Lucia would be a nice name. Yeah, I think it's that's the kind of player I quite like to collect. A bit off the wall, but well, not off the wall. Not the most obvious name. But it's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. So between this and the Odense shirt, a couple of potential pickups there in the kind of £20 to £30 mark. Yeah, nice. I've got a job lot, albeit a small job lot. A very eclectic mix there of Denmark, Serbia, and I don't know who the middle team is. Dagenham. That's funny. I mean, they've said it's not sure if the Serbia is authentic, so it means it's fake, but combo you'd never expect to see. Carson, have you ever seen the Drogheader? I don't know how you say their team name. Drogheader? United's 2020 away shirt. I don't think I have, Carl. Let's have a look. 2020 away shirt. And again, apologies if I've butchered that team name. Ah, I do remember that. Yeah. that rings some bells. Pretty pretty smart. The V there always makes you think of rugby league shirts. Kind of over the years, it's a classic motif, classic direction that many of them go down. But yeah, pretty strong color combo. Irish name, yeah. I am. I'll be honest, my Irish pronunciation is pretty shocking. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Just from a color perspective, it immediately hits you in the face in a good way. Nice. So that's the 2020. What are their current kits like, Carl? Are they as interesting? Okay. So Drawheater. Drawheater, nice. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate the pro tip there. What have we got? I don't remember this Derby shirt at all. Derby doing their best Argentina impression. Bombardier sponsors. Oh, that's a very interesting shirt. Yeah. Very interesting. This United shirt getting some action as well at £124. Look at that. Oh man. Okay. Just and of course Umbro are kind of playing up to it a bit here, but really lovely label swing tag. It's funny because that in itself, it's no wonder this has had some bids. Assuming it is real, and I'd have to look at a few pictures to be doubly sure, but it looks pretty good at first glance. Yeah, let's just soak that in for a bit, guys. Just looks great. It's silly. It's a silly thing, but accept no imitations. Exactly. Just a wonderful, what looks to be original Umbro label. So there we go. Samurai Sean. He only has one item, but yeah, really. It sounds funny, but just that label alone is a great kind of little thing to have, and of course, rare to see on a shirt that's that old. To get all the trimmings of the labels. That is beautiful. Who is it? Someone's talking about black and gold shirts. That's another option you need to put in your for consideration. I would definitely want to see a product code. So if you were looking to buy it, and actually that is a very low rating. So to be honest, someone's saying they got a fake shirt. So this probably is fake. It doesn't look great. That Adidas looks a bit wonky. And of course, to have an authentic at that price doesn't make sense. So I tell you back why I say it's probably fake, but nonetheless, that buying shirt is a nice black and gold one. And Rabbi saying it's clearly fake. Yeah, it has all the telltale signs. Yeah, which is a shame because it is a good shirt. This Umbro template really did wonders, didn't it? I mean, look at that. It looks great on this Ireland shirt. It really does. Yeah, I think didn't get enough credit, honestly. And this looks particularly good. Even with the sponsor, often the sponsors on Irish shirts can be pretty naff. But that is fantastic. And at that price as well, I'll be watching that to see, because if it stays in the low teens, it's probably worth picking up. Lovely version of that Umbro template, which was used by a number of teams in the late noughties. Just brilliant. Just a really good shirt. And incidentally, so it has some other good deals. We've got, I don't remember this shirt from USA? I don't remember that one at all. Relatively plain, of course, but again at a fiver. You know, you've got this superb Japan shirt with name as well, and it looks pretty good. So this seller just has some really good deals. These aren't you know, kind of shirt of the year contenders, but at these prices, it is, you know, a lot to kind of consider. I've got here, sorry, funny player to have, but honestly, guys, I mean, this ends tomorrow morning. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. As is the Ireland one, I would say, and even things like Trinidad and Tobago. It's a bit niche. Was that the one they wore? I can't remember if that was the one that they wore the World Cup or not. But yeah, really impressed. Just this collection of noughties, late noughties international shirts for really low prices. Of course, the prices could rise. I've got 12 hours to go. But yeah, pals, it's good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Oh, it's been great to catch up and just hear briefly from some old names, some friends of the channel from years, you know, from when the channel started. Oh, thanks for stopping by, mate. I hope you're well too. Thomas, on videos, so you might see behind me, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a box, a Portland Timbers box, and I picked up a vintage, 2012 limited edition shirt, which I'm really excited to get a look at. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing of that soon. I've also got some other videos which I've started and need to finish. Of course, these streams will be continuing. I think until I have my set finished, the pre-recorded videos are going to be less frequent than they will be once I get the set sorted. And we're closing in now. We've got to put up the coving this week or in the next couple of weeks. Then we've got to paint, change the carpet, and then we're nearly there. So we're getting there. Before we move on from this seller, I was intrigued to see that this pen has 5 bids and 31 quid. It's so funny, isn't it? That, you know, I could pass that in a charity shop and I wouldn't think anything of it. But there we go. A used, I've never heard of Mont Blanc when it comes to pens. But there we go. A bidding war ensuing on a pen. It's just funny. I mean, there'll be somewhere, you know, sitting in another chair, doing another stream, there'll be someone searching for used fine liners. Perhaps if we're doing this tonight with football shirts, you never know. Anyway, sorry that I'm really digressing today. Power's talking about Timbers. Yeah, the away shirt has gained a lot of traction. Really exciting. And John Carl making a very good point about them only starting in the tens. I believe, yeah, the shirt behind me in the box was referencing the old Timbers team who played in, I can't remember the name of the league, but yeah, really love their shirts in general. They've not been as exciting the last couple of years, but the away has certainly come back and put them on the map. Steven saying Mont Blanc on the Holland 88 of pens, exactly. That seems to be the case. Oh, you love to see it. Now, I'm assuming this isn't an original. This is most likely a remake. If it is original, of course. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I can't even be bothered to check that. If it's listed at that price, and again, a seller with quite low ratings, which, you know, anything in the low 90s is cause for concern. Yeah, I mean, someone receiving a replica. Yeah. This is the thing, guys. If you see some of this, of course the price looks too good to be true. But yeah, just then seeing the seller and you look at the seller's ratings, you know, it sounds obvious, but it's so easy to miss that. And just a very simple thing is seeing that, you kind of think, okay, and sometimes you can even, so you can see here the listing. What looks like it could be a vintage shirt, and I mean, it might be even just a straight up fake, let alone a remake, to be honest. But yeah, anyway. Lots of sales of that, you've got to be careful. Pals, I'm not sure if you guys already talked about this, but thoughts on Moses picking up a new trend in full shirts? Yeah, I tweeted about that, the kind of little sub trend. I think certainly, yeah, there's been some really, really nice shirts in that kind of style, or with that kind of motif. Instantly, another telltale fake is when the manufacturer logo is covered up like that. I've never been on a shirt like that. I'm not unless you had a second picture with it. But yeah, that's just, you know, it's a fake. It's not even worth a casual glance. Just quickly noticed this Leon shirt as well. Unusual to see it bagged up like this, and that's not great. You'd want to see more pictures, even if it is brand new in the bag. You should still really open it up and show a bit more of the shirt. So that, again, it just makes you think it's probably fake. Or if it isn't, you'd want to see a bit more proof there. And off the end, I would love it if you guys, if you give your thoughts on Exeter City's third shirt. Let's have a look, Arthur. Let's have a look. Exeter City third shirt. I can't remember if I've seen it. I spelled third on there. Right. Joma. Hey, I mean that. Arthur, I don't know if you how many of my videos you've seen before. It immediately makes you think of the bus seat trend, and then we had this fantastic kind of trend of teams releasing shirts that look like bus seats. And interesting, I get, okay, yeah, so Carpe right at the sponsor. I wonder if that's influenced the design, but that's really cool. Yeah, really fresh colourway. Not what I'd expect from Exeter City. I don't know if they've had previous shirts in that colour, but that's really cool though. It's a very cool shirt. You know, I've been looking a bit at Marseille shirts tonight, and that is certainly, yeah, could be a Marseille shirt. Or something exotic like that. And actually, great shirt from Andy on the Leon shirt. You can spot, this is a great shirt, Andy. Adidas jersey on the label, and if it says Adidas jersey, it's basically a sign of a fake. You know, anything generic like that. And incidentally, on this, in fact, I'll show you guys on the screen. On the Italy shirt, which I picked up, which was a fake, and it looks really good. Like, honestly, and even up close, I was really impressed by the quality of the like the crest, the Puma logo. You know, at first glance, it looks fine, but you can see things like the label here. It just says Puma shirt. So again, nothing about Italy. I mean, these swing tags actually are quite bad. You know, it says regular fit, even though it's player issue. Yeah, and it's just, they're not the tags that you get on the shirt, basically. So yeah, generic phrases on tags. A telltale sign of a fake. That's one thing to kind of bear in mind, really. Yeah. Jump back to eBay. Anyone got any football scores updates? Says Thomas. Good question. I'd like to know. I've been focused on eBay. We will probably end it in about 10 minutes though. A bit earlier than we sometimes do. Yeah. Lana Del Kay saying, really interesting shirts that haven't really wanted and sold. I left in the bag. I thought people would prefer to know it's unhandled. Rookie mistake it seems. I mean, honestly, Lana, it's not a rookie mistake. That's more of a personal gripe than anything else. It's more just a case of when I see a shirt in a bag and I can't see the details, I want to see a bit more. But if it is real and you can prove it's real, maybe get a quick snap out of the bag, then I think it's a good direction, honestly. I don't think it in the bag itself isn't the problem, but if you don't have any pictures beyond that, it can be a bit frustrating. Again, like we talked about this before, when you see something just says, you know, match issue, prove it's match issue. At least attempt to prove it's match issue. And you do have the labels here, so maybe this is, at the very least, this could be the Slovakia goalkeeper shirt. But yeah, It's just stuff like that. When you didn't see that, it doesn't. I mean, you can see it's a full motion shirt, and it looks pretty good at first glance. But anyway, I won't rant on about that. What are your best finds so far? So tonight, I've been intrigued by this seller. Has some great, potentially really good bargains. So I'm going to be watching this Japan shirt, which ends tomorrow morning. Similarly, this Marseille shirt, which again is a good price. Now the printing has a bit of damage, which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, it's one to keep an eye on, and would be below market value at that price. And another shirt in that category. I need to do a bit of research to check the player name. But yeah, that could be another pickup. Carl, thanks so much for stopping by, mate, especially on a busy night. Enjoy the second half. And yeah, really appreciate your support as always, mate. Take care. Yeah, Lee Chang Stars were a baller back in the day. Exactly. I was just saying before, pals, about I used to love playing Porto in the noughties. He was a great player. He'd always be good on career mode. When I was playing as Porto. City 4-0 up at half time. Yeah, that's fair. Will they actually win the Champions League? It could happen. It could happen. Of course, I'd rather they didn't. But these are usually just modern swim shorts, but it's great to see that Scotland design. It really is. There's the customary 9 PM yawn as well. It took me a while, but we got there without fail. So United Brighton goalless, PSG Real goalless. Okay, fair. This is a great Parma shirt, isn't it? Many of you guys will remember this design. Parma had this for in a few colourways for kind of home and away in the third, and looks authentic at first glance. XL is quite big, but it's the kind of one where again it could be worth. I mean, I would say, at that price, it's actually not bad considering the shirt. And if we try and look a bit more, there is some wear which is fairly consistent with age to the Puma logo and the crest you can see on the edge, but it's nothing which would put me off the shirt. So I think that's one where again I would do some research to see what the going rate is for that. I would expect it to be more than £100, not much more necessarily, but yeah. Potential one there, ends tomorrow morning as well. So that's kind of cool. I think we'll make this our last page, guys. So I'd say a bit shorter than we sometimes do. Oh gosh, the dreaded. Talking of telltale signs of a fake, that sports performance, I can't remember the full name, but basically that inside label, or that swing tag I should say. Oh dear, avoid anything with that as much as possible. Oh dear. Again, you just know that's going to be a fake. I don't want to talk too much about fakes, but there are a lot of them about. It's hard to avoid. Oof. Wow. Look at that condition. I mean, what have they listed this as? They've not actually said. My goodness, that one has taken a beating. Although the embroidered J-League patch has held up quite well there, but the printed applications have suffered, and some on all areas. It's like it's gone through the tumble dryer. Dear me. But it is 99p, so I mean, fair enough. The seller's not making any, silly decisions there. Stick on for 99p. That seems fair to me. Some more interesting items. I don't remember. This is supposedly a warm-up top. Unusual to see the kind of elements of the away shirt there on a t-shirt, on a shirt. Very just nice. I'll say you nice to look careless again. That's not like them, is it? No, you won't start that debate there. Nakata, cult player, great team guys template there. We talked about this my kits in the game video where I looked at kits from Pez. I think if this wasn't an XL, I'd be interested. Again, if I was able to check it was authentic. So I'd have to double check that code, but we'll watch it to see what it goes for. I do this quite a lot, just kind of watch items, see what they go for. Andy, honestly, your research has been so good, mate. I really appreciate it. Saying that the Squad Mystery shows nobody called Yana for 29. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say. I mean, even then, it is just quite a naff name set as well. But yeah, I think we'll take this off to watch this. We'll officially remove this from consideration. It was one of the weaker Share Legend shirts, admittedly. The more I look at it, I'm kind of getting it because it's Hummel at this point, if I was to get it. But I won't. There's too much uncertainty around that name. We'll move on. Whereas these are definitely potentials. And I've just noticed this, is reportedly an old Orlando Pirates shirt. So that is a really fun one to look at. And actually, it's of course Orlando Pirates. Very simple shirts, very kind of timeless shirts. And Lionel K saying looks like a lot of writing in the collar, perhaps as a fan saying, yeah, I think that's very very likely that it is. That's what would be my hypothesis. Yeah, and it is a good shirt, pals. The Hummel Share Legends series. If you Google Share Legends, you can see there's a number of really really good shirts I did. Some of them I'm really keen to find. Yeah, this is a great shirt, to be honest. It's obviously quite buff. It's very simple, but I'd be very keen to pick this one up, just because it's relatively timeless, very simple, but yeah, one I've not seen around a lot. Let's do what we usually do. Annie, yeah, the Japan shirt. Honestly, mate, I would. Well, it's hard. They've not shown many pictures, and it does end tomorrow morning. But this seller has a number of good shirts. Nothing here puts me off in terms of authenticity. I mean, they've got this great Ireland shirt as well. But yeah, this one could be a bargain, mate. And honestly, jump in. Well, double check with pictures and things like that. Nakamura, of course, great player. And yeah, I just, potential bargaining in the making here. It's only coming from the UK, which is great. So this honestly could be a really good deal. Of course, it could climb from here. But even without doing any more research, I would put in a bid of £10, and then you can always return it if it is fake. But nothing there looks fake to me. Again, I'd want to compare some pictures, but that looks good, and the name set as well. So yeah, honestly, maybe the print has been added on later. That does happen sometimes, but at that price, I don't mind what's happened there. We were going to look. What were we going to look at? Orlando Pirates. Yeah, I'm quite excited. I mean, it is a simple shirt. This Orlando Pirates shirt. Medium's a great size, and even though these do tend to run a bit big, the kind of early noise Adidas. I mean, for reference, and again, this is just a few shirts on the most expensive seller on the market. But you can see there another kind of noughties shirt. Look at that back sponsor. In small for £100. So I think we are looking at a potential here. Only the 06 white one. Gotcha. Was that the one, the Nakata one we were looking at, mate? I can't remember which one that was, but yeah. Yeah, this one I think is, it could climb quite a lot, of course, but I'm quite excited to see this listed. I think you could. It's the kind of thing which would easily fly under the radar. And let's just look. This is okay. So it's coming from the Foot Tea shop, but that's good to see. You know, like if we look at some more of their listings, okay, we kind of get a good feel for the seller. Yeah, seems like the kind of a lot of the classic sort of things you do see. But I'm really high on this Orlando Pirates, despite its simplicity. I think it's one that will be yeah, worth an eye on. I'm quite excited to keep an eye on that one. Right, let's keep going. We'll finish this page as we said. And Andy said the Man United number away 1990,000 was the shirt with Willie Matteo we spoke about earlier. There we go. Lovely stuff. And actually, guys, as a bit of a, I guess you'd call it a reward. At the end of the video, I'll briefly show you my magazine that I'm working on, and I'll just maybe give you like a teaser of it. I'm in the final stages of putting together a magazine of the most important shirts of the season, with original photography, a lot for myself and a few people from the community. I'll give you a quick preview, as I say. And as we finish, I think we'll wrap up there in terms of the eBay portion. But guys, as I say, this magazine I'm working on, I'll find it now, and I won't show you too much because I don't want to give it all away. But I'll maybe give you the cover and the first page, subject to changes. But yeah, the background to this is I'm basically initially it was just for kind of patrons, my supporters on Patreon. I'm now thinking what I'll do is it'll be free for patrons, and I might even sell a small limited run of them as well. We'll see how we go. And Middleman, it's good to see you. I've just seen your message there. We're starting to close down, but I'm just going to show you a quick preview of my magazine, which I'm calling More Than a Shirt. And let me just get this view in correctly. Again, I won't show you guys the whole thing, and I just want to make sure that we've got the cover there. Yeah, so this is the working version of the magazine. Again, subject to changes, but if I quickly show you, see here, More Than a Shirt. Again, cover, subject to change. You know, but this is the kind of thing, and I'll quickly kind of scroll through a load of stuff on here, but I've showed too much. That's all I'll show you. But there you get a quick glimpse of the magazine, More Than a Shirt. So I'm really excited. I've never done anything like that before. It's got loads of. It's all original in terms of the content. I've basically just picked up some of the big storylines of shirts this year, and talking about trends and things like that. So that's coming up very soon. If you want to get that first, you can again support me on Patreon. At any of the tiers, you'll be getting that magazine for free. But I'm really excited. Thank you, Middleman. Yeah, it should be really cool. And I mean, if it goes well, as I say, I'll do one of them, and kind of depending on how popular it is. Yeah, so that's coming up. I've been working on that for a little while now, and I'm really, really excited to see it. It's a bit of a trial to see kind of how it goes, but anyway, I'm sure you guys will enjoy that, and I hope I can get that into your hands soon. I'll just catch up with a few final comments before we wrap up. Any that I've missed. And Thomas, you mentioned crypto sponsors. I've got a section in More Than a Shirt in the magazine talking about crypto sponsors. So yeah, in short, I completely agree with you. I am also worried, but I mean, there we go. And like Pal says, yeah, that's where the money is. But yeah, thank you guys for your comments already about the magazine. It will be print, Andy. It will be print. So I mean, I might make it available digitally as well. But yeah, the plan is to have them. I mean, in terms of size, they'll be relatively small. I think it'll be kind of just a bit bigger than A5, so kind of a mini magazine. I think that's going to be the route. But yeah, yeah, it'll be coming to you, Andy, and the other patrons. And yeah, hopefully available for general sale as well. Just need to getting all the technicalities sorted now and realizing how faffy it is to print stuff physically. But no, I'm really excited to just to try it out. Just I've been wanting to do a magazine for a while, and it'll be, you know, it's kind of 50 odd pages, so a nice little size, nothing too crazy. I'm not taking on kind of Mundial and you know, these football times, but it should be quite fun. Anyway, guys, thank you so much as always. Even on the busy Champions League night, there's been so many of you just hanging out, and I really enjoy your company. I cannot wait for Thursday. Last Thursday was such a fun time, and I know many of you guys can't make it at the time, but if you can make it at 4 p.m. on Thursday, do stop by. If not, catch up with the stream on demand afterwards. But we're going to be ranking some more shirts. You can see the first episode of the Hot Wall, as we're calling it. That's available on my YouTube. But yeah, thank you guys. We've got a few auctions to watch through to tomorrow morning to see if we can pick up some more shirts. But pals, it's been a pleasure as well, mate. Good to see you again. And yeah, thank you, all you guys, just for stopping by and supporting me, supporting the channel, and just hanging out to chat about shirts. Thomas, I do hope your week picks up, mate. Yeah, I really hope you have a better rest of the week. Hang in there, mate. Annie, will you do the new League of Ireland shirts? Yeah, I need to decide. Last time we started from the start of 2022, and we had the view to catch up. I may jump forward. It depends. We'll see. But yeah, they'll be coming up soon, Andy, for sure. If not this week, in the next few weeks. Yeah, Chris is so looking forward to the first volcano. It's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. Thanks, John Carl. Yeah, no, thanks for you guys. As always. Yeah, have a good rest of your evening. And I'll see you very soon for another video. Take care, guys. See you later.